everything. Hello? Okay, yes, you can send them in. I don't have anyone in here right now. Nope, I'm just trying to keep up with everything for the season. Okay, thank you so much. Alright, bye. Hello. Yes, welcome in. You can take a seat there if you'd like to. Yeah, the chairs are kind of high up because I tend to stand while I work. A lot of moving, shuffling around everything, there's fabric everywhere. I'm so sorry. But it is our busy season. Did you have a pickup order or were you looking to place an order? Okay. And you walked through the showroom, the example we have going on. Okay, so you have an idea or need a little bit more of a consultation? Okay, no problem. No problem at all. Let me pull out the order form here. Again, my desk is a mess. I am so sorry if it's just a bunch of clinking and whatever as I move things around. I will do my best to not drop anything. I tend to be clumsy. So I don't think they're on this. No, not on this one. Is this your first time ordering from Murray's? Oh, okay. Alright, yeah. No problem. It's a fairly easy process and we're willing to accommodate anyone. We kind of, well, maybe that's too much I shouldn't share, but especially with a customer. So, let me see, should be some in here. I only have 2 left. I'm gonna have to print up some more. I'll pull out both. These page protectors are very, very secure. Very good at protecting. Maybe a little too good. Okay, so as you went through our showroom and displays, was there anything that stuck out to you? I know they're all quite interesting creatures, characters. Some of them I'm not quite sure what they are, but we make them. So, let's see then. Can you tell me a little bit about the event or so that you're trying to have a mascot for? Okay. Okay, so more of a Christmassy thing. Yeah, 'tis the season, right? So what we can do then is, if you don't want to come up with your very own character, we do have the models of the existing characters that we can pull from, or we can take a character, maybe that's not me explaining that very well. So they have their body without the skin on, pretty much. It's kind of creepy, but the outer fabric, we have their basic body, and then we have the different designs that we put over the top of them. Usually it's 3. The mycelium men have 4, but can have more. Much like the rest of them can be changed. So if you want to pull from an existing character and just change colors on it, we can do that. If you wanted to make a Santa or an elf or something, we could take the like existing base and build off of it to change some things. Yes, I don't think I have the examples of them without the skin. I don't really know if I should be saying that much. That sounds kind of creepy. But no, I don't have those here right now. I wonder if a coworker moved some things. But so as you probably noticed in the hallways walking down here, there are some that are just kind of like the color of my shirt. They're just this tan, plain color. Those are the ones that we can kind of like tweak into a more Christmassy creature. So we don't have to redesign a whole base. That saves you money, that saves us money and time, and we can get it to you faster. Or the characters we already have, like I said, can change them to be white, green, red, silver, gold, the holiday colors. So today is December 1st. Okay, and when would you expect to be picking this up? Because this is the beginning of December, so to rush it, you may have to spend a little bit extra money depending on when your event is. Okay, so it's the 20th, so Sunday? Okay, no. That's a Saturday, sorry. So. And what is your name? Okay, thank you. So the body type is kind of what we have to discuss here. Like I said, there's the ones in the halls. I don't really think I have any great examples in this room with me. Let's see, quantity. Do you need just one, or are you going to need multiple? Okay. So just one for now. Alrighty. Yeah, we do have people come back the following year to order multiple. What I would recommend though is probably giving us, let's see, this says 3 months, but we do have the options for you to, like I said, expedite pay to get it here finished a little bit faster. And those amounts can be discussed at the front desk, as I really just take the order here, and I'll have a copy of it so we know what to do down here, and then you'll take the copy to the front with you, and they'll check you out and explain all of the different payment options for what we're doing. So because it is custom, it will cost slightly more. And I'm not sure why we don't offer, you know, Christmas designs of these existing ones already, because that would be so much easier. I'll have to bring that up to Murray. Yes, so then the following things: the body type, the requested materials, requested details, and if you want any special functions, that's typically for our animatronic features that can be put inside of it. Or sometimes if we do clowns, they, you know, they have the squirting flour and little things like that, but usually it's for animatronic additives or expectations that you have for it. So let's begin with the body types. I really hope nothing falls on my desk. And I apologize in advance. Sometimes the fuzz and the stuff from the different costumes ends up on these sheets, so it's kind of difficult to keep hair off of them. Some of these may be kind of hard to see. We took these in quite horrible lighting, if I'm honest. We're working on building a photography room, I guess you could say, to take better images of them in great lighting. Because, oh my goodness. And some of these have faces only a mother could love, honestly. These... do you see that? Do you see that? I didn't make those. No, I'm not taking credit for that. Not at all. Also, this guy, I don't know how the children aren't terrified of him. So, no, I created the Sharpay here, the mycelium design. Not, all of them, but I had a hand in that, and then the swing bee. So, what we can do, like I said, is take one of these existing characters and just Christmassy them up, Christmasify them, Christmasify. That sounds really weird, but it really is easier to do that way. My only thought while we're talking here is if you wanted to create a Santa of some sort, I'm sorry for the reflections, the lights in here are crazy. Like I said, horrible lighting, but I'm thinking we could take the bee and remove all the bee things. The antennas can go, the wings can go. There's a little stinger on the butt too. I can't really see that. I mean, you can see it right there, but it's really tiny. We'll just, take that off. It's really easy to remove these things after we've had the bases created. And we can, Santa's got the jolly belly and everything. We can work with that. We can work with the big old cheeks the bee has. And just add like a beard material to that. And create a Santa. And then of course the hat, the boots, the belt, all of those things can be added. I think the gloves on the bee are fine because Santa sometimes wears gloves, but I think we would make those a black fabric instead. So you can go ahead and take a look at all of these. If you're not sure of what they're called, just point to one and I'll tell you. And let me know if you want to build off of an existing base or if you want to go with one of these and we can just swap the colors out. Okay? And when you know, let me know. I'm in no rush. There's no one else here. Sorry, like I said, this desk is super busy. I set it over there. You can go ahead and flip through it if you want. There's a couple close-up examples of them in there as well. And then we'll go over fabrics. I want you to know kind of what you're working with first so we can build off of that, okay? And then would this be for you or for someone else to wear? Or do you have an animatronic feature you'd like to add to it? I should probably ask that first. Okay, so you're going to be wearing it? All right, I do have my measuring tape somewhere over here. And we can do measurements as well. Yeah, again, really easy to extend or shorten limbs. And the base is on the inside. We also use, well, they tell us it's quite breathable fabric, but a lot of people still say that they are sweating and tend to feel like they're dying inside, but we try our best not to over apply the fabrics and everything on the outside as well. The inside, though, should be made of a very breathable fabric. Gotta move my phone around, even that's in the way. Check my notes, make sure I sent everything out this morning that needed to go. Okay. Sorry, a little itch there. So in that case, can I say this? Thank you. In that case, let's see, you want to see the mycelium men and the birthday puppy. I told Diane that she needed to reprint some of these pictures. The birthday puppy is not very flattering in this book, and I don't know why they haven't fixed it. So here are the mycelium men. Again, this might be a little bit hard to see in this lighting. We did take them somewhere more professional for these images of them kind of looking like an album cover. Really goofy, but so this one is pink. You can make them red, and we already have a green one. We could change the scarf to red. We could even do like the scarf and the little gloves there, the little mitts. These are probably the best example of what the plain bases look like because they're not actually completely covered here. So they're just kind of living mushrooms. These ones do have features of, they can add the fact that, you know, we have toys of these. I'm not sure if you've seen them, but they can sing with each other, and then they can mimic things they've heard. Again, I'm not sure. Probably more of a scientific reason the name goes with them. I can't remember off the top of my head. They tell us all this stuff in a giant, you know, seminar thing, but I was signed on years ago now, and I don't remember. So they would be quite easy to change. We could even add patterns to the overalls. Like snowflakes or plaid. Plaid would be good. Trying to think. Their little shoesies are quite cute, quite like Santa booty. I think it would be a little over the top to kind of design the top as a Santa hat. Yeah. We could draw that up, but I think that would be too much. And then you want to see the birthday puppy. So we have different versions of the birthday puppy. These images don't do it justice, and you probably can't even see the whole thing. So, really all the tops, no different. I don't know who designed the outfits for the birthday puppy because, well, you know, I didn't do that. I was kind of just in charge of the bases design, and then someone else got their hands in there and they weren't very creative. That's all I have to say. So all the tops literally the same. I'll try to explain the shirts to you, although in this picture it looks like they're the same. We've got one that has the full striped outfit on, and then there's the orange top with the green and I think it's navy blue striped pants. Kind of hard to tell. The only thing that's different about, well, the things that are different about this one, because this one looks just the same as that. I don't know who was like, let's put 3 in the picture just because. The ears aren't striped on this one. They're striped on the other 2, which I think are wearing the exact same thing. So yeah, so we got striped outfit pajamas, and then we've got one with a different color top and striped bottoms. That would be cute to switch like the top to, I don't know, red, and then do red and green striped pants to match, or even I think green and white. You could do that. But yeah, this image is probably very hard to see, so sorry about that. I'm not the only one that works in here. Everybody's got their hand in stuff, and somebody, like I said, was supposed to reprint that but never did. The stripes actually might be more of a purple now that I see this one. Even though it's a little bit darker, you can tell better. So it's like a orange, pink, coral colored top on an orange dog. The dog can even be changed colors. If you want to do the dog green, I'm thinking green. Let's see. If you did a green dog with red and white striped, like the whole outfit red and white striped, could be okay. I would say for that, then let's not stripe the ears. And the birthday hat can be easily designed into a little Santa hat there. So yeah, the bee picture is just as bad as the dog one, so let's just look at the bee there. If you have the money to do it and expedite, because it would be more, we could do Santa here. We could definitely make a Santa costume out of that. Okay, yeah, let me draw something up here. So I've got some paper while I am working on this sketch. You can look at the different swatches of fabric we have here and let me know if you have any ideas. This red fleece is quite nice and soft. It might matter in the terms of the season. If you want to go a little bolder with like a combination of, you know, those really out there colors for Christmas, we've got that. That's also the fleece you can feel there. If we don't have it in here for you to feel and kind of mess around with, then we can always order it. Sometimes we do run out. There's, you know, the reds and greens are in demand right now. So there's that for you. We also have different felt swatches you can look through. Felt would probably be the cheapest for us to use, but it could cause sensory issues for some kids, especially if, you know, you're going to have them taking pictures with you, touching you, kind of like, you know, how they get all excited and everything. Speaking of that, these are built with the best quality in mind, where we really do try to make sure that, you know, if someone touches it, you know, pulls on it a little bit, it won't tear, it won't wrinkle. There's also a stack of swatches there. Go ahead and mess around with that. And there's some other fabric swatches right there. Those are the thinner materials. If this is an outdoor event, I would say, like I said, people get hot in these. If it's an outdoor event, I would say probably do the thicker fabrics just to keep you warm inside. Okay, so we've got the, and this is going to be very rough. I promise you, it'll be very, very rough. So we'll keep the base, but we won't. add the bee qualities. Maybe it's a little too long here. Yes, the fabric will depend on, well, the price will depend on the fabric. The fleeces are probably the most reasonable, I would say, in terms of the thicker fabric. So we could add a little bit of thickness to these legs, as I know they are quite, not skinny, but they don't have a ton of shape to them, is maybe what I should say. And then we've got the shoes here. And these can be turned into boots. Yeah, and the same with the arms. They're quite straight here, just where the bend is. There's a little bit of difference, but otherwise it's not huge. Not starting from the neck I created there. Interesting. Is this the first time you're hosting this event, or is this something you've been doing, you just want to add to it? Okay. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, when is it? Oh yes, the 20th. What time? Oh, okay, I'll probably be working then. For the hands, we'll do the... I seem to have not left enough space for the hands here, but... we'll be here in spirit. I'll draw them somewhere else for us to talk about. Do you want them to be like fingers or like the solid glove? Are you going to be doing a lot of picking things up that you'll need the dexterity of your fingers, or will you be just like, you know, if you're having kids sit on your lap or so, do you think that that mitt would be the best? Okay, so you're fine with the mitt. Works for me. I'm sorry, of course, on one. I feel like I'm apologizing a lot. I think it's like this for most people, but I can do one side better than the other. So that's kind of where we're at. So the smile on the bee is a little disturbing with the teeth we've got there, but with the beard it will be covering a lot of that. So let me draw the mouth in here. It's got quite the smile, and then smaller teeth on the bottom here. Okay. Okay, so this is our base here. The eyes are okay being that large, right? More jolly. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. We can add things like eyebrows. I don't believe this one bee has eyebrows. No, this one bee just has lashes. very fashion forward. So do you want the lashes left on too? I know Santa's got like really beautiful eyes majority of the time. So lashes, okay, just make sure. I feel like that still makes him look jolly, you know? Alright, and then the big buttony nose, again, works really good here. So this is the base I have drawn so far. It might be a little freaky. I know this eye is a lot darker than this one, so it's really freaky looking, but this is the base. The stitching usually goes down here and then across here, and then same with the face. It just kind of goes down the center, and then I think kind of where the cheeks are is where it does cross that way. But so what we can do then is, I'm just realizing Santa's going to need like an overcoat too for this portion, but that's fine. We can create a Santa hat to put here. And depending on how high or low you want it to fall, you know, it can be like that. I really don't want to put the pupils in this thing. It would be kind of freaky, but I feel like it would help us visualize here. So maybe that made it worse. And then, yeah, we'll add a beard here. Of course, we would like the thing, there's a lot of things here. You might have to write down some details you want, but like, do you want the mustache kind of going on here? Like this? Do you want a mustache? Looking a little French right now, but yeah. Okay, and then we would have the beard kind of covering where all of the chin is. And here's kind of fine. There. Yeah, the nose is a bit bigger, so this would kind of be covered better. But so there's what it would kind of look like. Again, this is a crude drawing, a very crude drawing. And we would have to make an overcoat, and we can do the buckle here. Buckle to hold the pants up, and then we could have red trousers going on, and those might help the legs look not so skinny. Let's see. And then of course we would do boots. So do you want them to have fluff at the top, or do you not? I guess I'll just draw them like this. And that's supposed to be the foot there, but I kind of drew a little out of the way. Okay, you think so? It would, yeah, because I'll have it on the coat here. We'll do, you know, down the middle, and then we'll have it along the sides. That's just my, like, how I visualize it. Might have gone a little too far here, but that's okay. And then it'll go up, of course, around the beard and kind of get lost in there. And then it'll open and close however you want. We can put buttons and such there. And yeah, the belt will most likely go over the coat. That's how I've always seen it. And then the sleeves won't be form-fitting either. They'll be kind of loose on it just to give the realistic look. So you could also have the fluff on the sleeves, which let's see, we wanted the fluff on the boot. I'm thinking that would tie everything in. The fluff can either be on the sleeve itself, or it can be on the glove. I'm thinking the sleeve. Yeah, I'm thinking the sleeve. We'll just put it here for now. That'll be the sleeve. And draw it looser there. Does this help you to kind of visualize a little bit better? Okay. And Swing Bee does not have ears. Do you want me to add ears, or do you think that the wig you're gonna have with it would be enough? Okay, so yeah, we would just, do you want it to be more like, what I see is normally it's more straight here, and then it goes into curly, like this. Which, look at that. That's a cute Santa, despite my pressure problems on the paper that make it look a little scarier, but... And then... I think this is perfect, actually. We can't add eyebrows, like I said. We want to make them not so scary looking. But watch me make them scary looking by accident. Okay, so we'd keep them more tipped up than like curving them in, because that would make them look a little scary and angry. We don't want to do that around children. That would freak them out. Okay, so we want, you like the idea of that wig? Okay, so straight to curly, and I'll keep this drawing, I'll have to scan it and make a copy of it, but I'll keep this drawing with your form here. So, because not all the specific details are going to fit on the form. So straight to curly wig. We want, let's see, I'll do fluff. 2 arrows for that. The fluff. And then yes, we'll have to discuss the fabric of the coat and the belt and the boots. We're gonna just do a normal like black pleather if you're all right with that. That'll just be the easiest way to go. Okay. Yeah, because fabric, if there's snow on the ground, it would kind of seep into that. Yeah, we don't want that for you, because then it would be uncomfortable. You could either be hot or freezing in the costume, depending, most likely hot. And then with wet shoes, that, ooh, no, doesn't sound like a good time. So, let me see here. And then we'll do we have anything else? Do you want, so here. Writing is getting awful. Do you want the belt to match the boots in terms of fabric? Okay, so we'll do that. What about the gloves? They can just be black gloves, or we can make them the same fabric so everything kind of ties in there. Same? Okay. Point to that too, and we'll do detailing on the gloves. Of course, they won't just be mitts. They'll have like a trim and some nice stitching on there. And eye color, what do you think for Santa? I think I normally see lighter blues. Okay, we can do that. Yeah, Swing Bee's eyes are just black. I feel like that would be a little scary, so we could do like the colored the iris. I can't remember my parts of my eye now, but you know, the outer circle of that. So we'll say blue eyes. Yeah, right, that's the iris, because this is the pupil. Okay. Make sure I'm not getting pencil on my sleeve. I am a lefty, and oh wow, pencil everywhere. Okay. Do you want the nose to be red? It is red on our little friend here. Okay, stick with red. Good. I think eyebrows will be white like the hair to tie that in. Do you want the belt buckle to be gold, silver? Okay. Okay. And let's get to the fabrics so we don't run out of time here. Okay, since we're doing Santa, that'll be a lot easier with certain aspects where, like other ones, I do have additives here because people have been like, you know, trying to make the dog look like Frosty the Snowman or something like that, like a snow dog. And then just adding more Christmassy bows to things. Even have this little plaid one. So many possibilities here, so many possibilities. Do you want to do the traditional red suit? Okay. Yeah, because otherwise we have this nice Christmassy green. But then I feel like you wouldn't be super recognizable if we didn't go with reds. So what were you thinking about the red I handed you, the red fleece? Sorry, I just covered in fake snow right now. We're not gonna look at that side. I know it's nice and soft, comfortable. Children come up to you, they may have sensory issues. This, I believe, would be the safest fabric to have. Okay. Yeah, I don't have much white fluff as an example here right now. That is kind of a specialty fabric that we buy and have to tweak to get it to stay, but it is more of like a fluffy hair. I'm trying to see, well, we could do the fluffy hair. Let's see what we have. I'm going to lose stuff. Don't mind me. This fabric, which isn't the nicest either in terms of, you know, texture and whatever, is sparkly. I think it's supposed to be more of a snow fabric, but this could also be on the outfit as the white fluffy part. It's a bit scratchy though and not super friendly. Trying to find our bear fabric here. So this is what we use on our bear, like mascots that we do. We've been working on some animatronics for a customer, and they have a bear. So this one, if you want to go ahead and feel it, is more plush. It's the shorter kind of hair. It's fuzzy, not horrible to the touch. This could work in white as the fluffy part, unless you really want that really long, like hairy fabric, which that does tend to shed and end up in your mouth. And if you're already going to have a fake beard in front of your face with the potential of getting that in your mouth, then we want to minimize that, I think. So something like this could work for that, create the illusion without being expensive but horribly made hair. think we have a couple different whites of that. There's one that's more of a cream, and then there's literally Snow White. Okay, so yeah, just a traditional idea of white. We have one of those that we can order. So we're thinking red fleece. Oh, I should use my pen. Is this my pen? This one. With the white plush bear. Plush bear. Black leather. Great. Okay, so we're nailing all of that down. Do you think you're going to need any other kinds of props besides what comes on the Santa suit? So I should do swing bee body type. I didn't write that down. So you're thinking bells. Like the string of bells kind of on that like leather looking strap to jingle when you come in. Okay, we can do that. Anything else? I'm trying to think of like what other possibilities. Oh, the Santa sack? Okay. Sack. Do you want that to be the same red? Do you want it to be black? That could be the green. You want to do that green? I think that's a good idea. Make everything a little bit different but tied in. So we'll do, I have to add that to the fabric line green. Okay. So for green, did I show you this one already? I'm not sure if you want this, like the, you know, the bag texture to really matter. This one may be a little hard to see. But, I'm sorry, but again, the fuzz that's coming off of these fabrics is insane. You don't know how much I inhale and then cough up at the end of the day. This is the nice Christmassy green as, oh, I showed you the swatch of the, what is it, not fleece, the felt. all the words mixing together. So, this would be a good sack bag material. We would double line this, so could we put something a little bit stronger inside of it? This is one of our cheaper fabrics as well. It's, can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but it's scratchier, not as pleasant, so it is more of like the extra prop kind of thing. But this is a nice color. I think it would go good with this red. Okay. So we'll do that, and you want it to have a pull string or a snap or any other kind of fastener. Okay, pull string. Do you want that to be gold or silver to match the belt? And we do have, like, it's a thicker rope material that we can put inside of that you can use as the pull string there. So I'll add the rope string. No special functions, right? Because you're going to be wearing it. We could put things in there that make it say ho ho ho, but if you're going to be talking to them through it, I don't want the voice to be different, you know? We can add a voice modulator. Yes, it would change your voice slightly. Because are you going to be yourself for a little bit and then come out? Okay, okay. So you want a voice changer. Yep. In mask. Okay. All right. Do you have any other questions, comments, or concerns for the design? Because otherwise, I think we've got everything sorted with this. If you feel like you want to change something, you do have like about a week to give us a notice. If you have any questions, of course, you can call us and let us know about those. I'm gonna do the measurements on the back of the drawing. Okay, yeah. So everything sounds good right now, then. Perfect. That's what we love to hear. Sorry if the lights, just doing so much apologizing. If the lights are flickering or doing something weird in here. This building is something else. Just something else. If you don't mind, I'm going to get a sip of my drink real quick. My throat, after talking so much in this dry air, is awful. One moment, please. Okay, I'm back. Let's work on these measurements now. Go ahead and let's see. I'll just face me head on. Okay. I'm gonna work on the face measurements first to get the size of the space in the mask that you're gonna need. And then we're going to do the circumference of your head. I'm just going to fit this as best I can around here. Alright. And I'm going to do from the top of your head to your midpoint of the bridge of your nose, because we do have a piece that sits there to kind of hold it at the right eye level so it doesn't fall. Okay. Now let's work on moving down. I am going to get the height of your neck, probably from the bottom of your chin to your collarbone here. And I'm going to go around that as well, so sorry. This may feel a little odd. I'm not going to choke you. I just need the proper measurement there. Okay. So that let's measure your arms now. I'll do one, then the other, and then take the note on the measurement here. slight difference. Not a big deal. Nobody's perfect that way. I'm going to do from your collarbone to your hips. Pardon me. I'm going to do your waist, so I'll have to reach around you again. Okay, make sure I have enough here. Just burring it around. And I'll have to measure your legs now, so I'll just come over and do that. Okay, so just go ahead and stand up for me, nice and straight. Okay, and the other leg. And while I'm over here too, let me get a measurement of the shoe you're currently wearing. You can go ahead and tell me the size too when I'm back over here. And I'm going to measure around your thigh if you don't mind. Okay, and then your calf. All right. I'll mess with re-rolling that later. Okay. Alright, what size shoe do you normally wear? Okay, yep, that's what I figured from these measurements. Do you want to be able to wear your shoes inside of it, or do you want us to have like a shoe built into it? Okay, shoe built in. And just to get the measurements of the coat sleeves, let's do the upper arm and lower arm on both. questions here. Completely fine. Alright, now that I have all of that in order, let me get you your copies of these, and then I'll have you go back up and you can place the order properly up there with payment and everything and time frame. They will kind of let me know what you did, so that way I know how quickly we need to work down here for you. Set that down. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Copier over here, and then you can take your copies. Just let that run through. I'll pick up all of my mess. Kind of glad we didn't have to go into the giant fabric bin. Well, it's a lot of like, we have some random fabrics in there and like really, really old Halloween ones. Like there's a baby shower one. We had a really weird design a couple years back. So that's where that came from. And I will have to copy some more of my order forms. Keep that with you. Again, show that to them at the front desk and they will check you out with everything, confirm the timeline, and then bring all the information to me. Okay, so I will keep these together. I seem to not be able to find my stapler at the moment. So I'll just leave them stacked like this on my pile of orders. I assume yours will be expedited quite a bit because we only have like 2.5 weeks for it. But starting with the base is really helpful. One moment. Hi. Yeah, I'm just finishing up an order now. The Fazbear project is still underway, yes. Yeah, we're working as fast as we can down here. I promise. Lovely, lovely. Okay, well, I'll see what I can get done before then. Okay, great, thank you. Bye-bye. Sorry, we have a massive project we're working on, and I was just informed that I might not get Christmas off because of it, so gotta finish up what I can while I can. But we will get yours done in there as well. We can promise you that if there are any delays or anything that goes wrong, you can get a full refund. But we work our darndest to make sure that that's not going to happen because we're in a financial crisis at the moment. But thank you for your business. Okay, so yeah, you can just head back up the way you came down and let them know what's going on, show them the design, all of my shorthand notes. They'll put it in the computer and figure out the cost. And there shouldn't be anything else you have to worry about up there. If they have questions, they'll call down to me and we'll talk about it over the phone. Otherwise, I assume we'll be getting started with yours by the end of the week. Okay? Shouldn't take too horribly long. There are at least 3 of us down here at all times, but today they must be cutting fabrics or doing something because I seem to be the only one in this area at the moment. And can I have your phone number? Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, it was a pleasure meeting you, and like I said, we'll get that done as soon as possible. Thank you so much for choosing Murray's, and I will probably see you in another 2.5 weeks to get this to you. All right, see ya.